I love it. I love it, Doc. Welcome, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. It is a lovely evening, and usually and typically we do these at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But in the past, we've had some people overseas, and we've had to accommodate for their schedules as well. So we've had some afternoon editions in this season, but it's been a lot of fun. And tonight we're sitting down with the very special Dr. Kim Carpenter, who is a great chiropractor, a phenomenal coach, and we're going to talk all about that as we go on through this podcast. But also, I want to encourage you to ask questions. If you have any questions while we're going through anything, especially you students out there, ask them, please, please, please. If you don't know something that Dr. Kim mentions that you don't know, or something I mentioned that you're not familiar with, please do not hesitate to drop a comment and ask. Also, be sure to like, love, share this as far and wide as you can with fellow chiropractic students, as well as other DCs who need to hear this information to be better and the best they can be in practice. So, Doc, without further ado, I want to give you the floor, but after we come back from thanking our initial sponsors here, and then we're going to come back and absolutely blow the roof off of this podcast with golden nuggets and, value bombs everywhere. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. We'll be right back. To Inspire Women is the elite boutique coaching company for chiropractors who are looking to live life and run business in a way that is personal, unique, and authentic. They focus on business systems and money mindset mastery so you can pay down debt, be more profitable, and serve more people. Their goal is to empower you to achieve success by your own rules and your own definition. Head to toinspirewomen.com now because they know there's a better way. Chiro HD, superior cloud-based practice management software. Chiro HD is a user-friendly, all-in-one EHR solution built with one mission: to help you run your practice like a boss. Learn more at chirohd.com. Total Clinic Solutions is your go-to source for purchasing both brand new and refurbished chiropractic equipment, as well as phone support for repairs and maintenance. Call Derek and allow him to combine your wishes and his 23 years of chiropractic equipment expertise to find what's best for you and your patients at 704-622-4089 or head to totalclinicsolutions.com now. It's time that chiropractors look beyond spinal alignments and measure the nerve connections that keep our patients feeling strong and performing at their peak. CLA designed the Insight scanning technologies to transform exams and generate powerful reports that give practitioners the certainty they have been searching for. Learn how CLA has partnered with practices around the world by going to insightcla.com. Spinal hygiene products are designed to educate your patients on the importance of lifetime spinal care. To learn more about how spinal hygiene products work and to download the patient education material for free, visit spinalhygiene.co. Again, that's spinalhygiene.co. Easily share your passion for chiropractic and look good doing it with Above Down Apparel, offering a premium lineup of principled apparel that's impossibly soft, sustainably sourced, and chiropractic AF. Visit abovedown.co and follow them on Instagram to learn more and score yourself some sweet chiro swag. Sked is the all-in-one system that allows for amazing control and flexibility of your scheduling. Yes, your next new hire. Every aspect of when and where you service your customers is at your command. Sked is tightly integrated with your existing EHR system. This software was made by a chiropractor specifically for chiropractic. No joke. Go check out their latest care plan feature by heading to go.sked.life/legendarypod. Health Business Builders covers every aspect of building a health business both online and in a brick and mortar environment. Dr. Dan Sullivan and Dr. Dave Toohill and their team will help you on a regular basis to develop an in-depth strategy, plan, and accountability to not only assemble a plan, but also make it happen. Head to healthbusinessbuilders.com so they can help you get the results you never thought were possible. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Awesome.
I'll let you know.
I appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Dr. Kim and I are on fire tonight, and we are going to bring that fire and energy to this podcast for all of you tonight. Like I said previously, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations for Dr. Kim or myself during this entirety of this podcast, please drop them in the comments and let us know. Without further ado, Doc, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about where you're coming in from, where you're tuning in from, and really share with us why to inspire women, because I think people know you're a chiropractor, but share with us a little bit about the coaching program, and then at the end we'll also do a little call to action for everyone.
All right. So yeah, I'm Dr. Kim Carpenter. I practice in Louisville, Kentucky. I run a high volume cash-based practice and high PVA practice, and I've done that for over 15 years. And then I have awesome partners with To Inspire Women, Dr. Janice Hughes and Dr. Shaylin Osborne. And the three of us came together and created To Inspire Women. And it's a boutique coaching company. And we are very, very member specific. So nothing about what we do is cookie cutter. And we help you figure out where you are now and where you want to be. And then we create a roadmap for you to be there. We have a tremendous amount of free resources on our Facebook page and on our website at toinspirewomen.com. We are really focused on helping elevate the profession and creating more wealth within the profession, but doing it on your own terms and in your own way. So much of what people do with either practice management or various coaching firms is they say that it worked for me, so it has to work for you. And that is simply not a model that is sustainable, nor does it create massive amount of wealth for practitioners. And wealth is important in our profession, and it's something a lot of people don't want to talk about. But we can give and love and serve, but we can also do that at a really high level when we have funds to invest back into the world to create the world that we want. And very few people in our profession can do that. And so we are on a mission to help men and women do that. You know, I know it's called To Inspire Women, but my last strategy call was 50% men. And there's a large members within our coaching group that are men. And so you don't have to be a female to be a part of it, but the mission is definitely to elevate women within the profession and within the world so that we can create more wealth within the hands of individuals and also with women.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yeah.
And I wrote down everyone is an individual and unique. So should your coaching. I mean, if you have this cookie cutter template that they're trying to apply to everybody, and you know it's the same type of model and everything like that, it might work for some of the people, but you could be left in the dust, and we don't want that to ever happen. So check out toinspirewomen.com if you want to check out any of their coaching packages and coaching blueprints. And like Dr. Kim said, they have tons of free resources as well. So they have checklists, they have, different things that you can check out via just downloadable PDFs. So be sure to get on those. Dr. Kim, what are we talking about tonight? Tonight we are talking and breaking down small things that lead to a high PVA office. And we're also going to be talking about new patient attraction. So those are two kind of polar opposite things, because one brings them in the front door, right? And says, hey, welcome to our office. This is chiropractic. We're awesome. But the other one keeps them there, right? And really maintains that relationship and that bond between you and that patient member, client, whatever you want to call them. So it's really, really exciting. I'm pumped for tonight. So go ahead and start us off with a little bit about what is a PVA, first of all, and then talk about what are those things that lead up to a high PVA.
I am really passionate about PVA. And so PVA is your patient visit average. And so when a new practice member starts in your office, how many times do they come? And most, how many times are they showing up? Are they getting care? And how long are they receiving care? We love as a profession to say that we are lifestyle-based, we're wellness-based, that we're subluxation-based, that we can change lives, that people need spinal hygiene and spinal care. But the bottom line is our numbers don't reflect that within our profession. So we have this huge communication piece. We have where we think we are and what we are, and then we have the reality of what our numbers show we are. And as a profession, we collect very little. And as a profession, we really see people very little. in comparison to what we like to preach. And so the quicker we can get that on the table, the better. I knew when I started a practice that it was not going to be simply pain-based, and that there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. It wasn't what I wanted. I am really passionate about creating systems to create high PVA practices that are intention-based. And intention-based meaning that they are patient-driven and they are about what the patient needs. And so much of that comes down to you knowing what it is you provide in your office. So if you are a wellness-based office, what are your pillars of wellness that you do better than anybody else in your community? And how are you the solution to the people that walk into your door? And most people cannot answer that. Most practices, their PVA sits somewhere around 4 and 10. So that means that most practice members don't even make it to their re-exam. Most re-exams are done at 12 visits. If they're not getting to their re-exam, I don't even know if you're a pain-based practice, because they didn't even get to the point where you can measurably say that they're better, worse, or different, or changed. And so much of that has to do with communication. Now, I love being in a practice that is 60 or 80 PVA. Like when you get into those pieces, you're more of a lifestyle-based practice. When you're in that middle zone between 10 or 12 or 4 and 60 or 80, then you're really more in that like rebuilding or rehab type of a practice. All of these types of practices are perfectly fine, all have a place. It's about what you want. So I love building high PVA practices, and I'm really good at it. The thing about a PVA practice is a high PVA practice is that it really comes down to all of the tiny things. It's about how you answer the first phone call. Do you immediately, and does your team, because in most offices it's your team, can your team recognize what this practice member's pain point is, what their personality is, what their concerns are, and can they meet those? And if they can, then on that first phone call, they've already established a relationship of trust, right? Most practices don't even do that step well. The second step to that is the next visit, the first visit. I can tell you that it is our mission that when someone walks into our office, the first name is used the moment they walk in the door. At least 2 out of the 4 people that are available in the front are shaking their hand within the first 10 seconds and introducing themselves. Is there an office tour where you're showing this person everything that you offer? So what's the purpose of that office tour? 1, it's to make the person comfortable. And 2, it's to plant seeds for all of the ways that you can help impact their life, right? So for instance, in our office, you may come in and we're going to talk about, if you do supplements or if you don't, I don't really care. If you're straight, mixer, this is not what this is about. Come in, I'm going to show you the areas where we may use supplementation or other testing to help with lifestyle. I'm going to show you, our subluxation station and talk to you about spinal health. We're going to show you our kids area because yes, we take care of kids. We're going to show you our kids yoga studio. We're going to show you our movement-based functional movement studio where we may help you with how you build flexibility or strength. We're going to show you our adjusting area, which is the most important piece. And my staff always, always, always pushes that. This is the most important part of your care. This is where you'll be most of the time. It's where we provide spinal adjustments. That tour plants so many seeds and we get so many questions from it. But it's meant to establish some type of rapport. Most people don't do that very well. I would really encourage people that if you don't know what your 3 to 4 pillars that you can connect with someone on and really help meet them where they are and how you're going to lead them, that is first and foremost that everybody in your office understands that. From there, everything then is moved into that first visit, right? So we know that in the first visit, yes, we do a consultation. Yes, you can do your exam. But the big things that you have to know that when you're in that first visit is where has this person been? Where are they now? And where are they going? Because they're looking for a leader. And so many of us are so ready to tell our story or what we want somebody to know that we're missing out on what this person might need to know about where they're going in the future because they came to you for a reason. So when I have, I know a lot of people on your podcast are students. And when I have students who come to my office, or if I hire an associate and I'm working with someone new from school, that your brain is so into like this clinical test or this clinical finding, that when you walk out of a room, at least the first couple times you do a consultation in my office, I literally ask you where they've been, where are they, and where they're going. And you can't answer where they're going. That means you don't even know how you're their leader. So they surely don't know how you're their leader. For us, the other piece that really, really helps to build a high PVA practice is once you know where they're going and you know how you are their solution, then do you have that mapped out over 12 visits, or do you have that mapped out over 60 visits or over 100 visits or over 5 years? Do you know where this person is going? Most practitioners can only get to where I want them to be at visit 2, 3, 4, or 5, which is one of the reasons we have a 4 or 5 PVA issue in our practices. When I have a new associate or I'm working with a student, I want you to map it out for me. Tell me where they're going to be at visit 12 and 24 and 36 and 48 and 60 and 80. And what are the things within your office that provide solutions to them living the chiropractic lifestyle? So if you can't map it out, I assure you a patient doesn't know where they are and where they're going because you don't know where they're going. So that is one of the biggest pieces that when you're first starting to grow your practice from your PVA is you have to know you're the leader and you better show up. So how are you going to do that? So for me, that's how I've seen practices that are low PVA grow, because their mind then shifts to, no, you're not done. I know you feel better. We have XYZ to work on still. So that's a long answer for your PVA piece, but it's about creating practice growth, and you have to be the leader within your own practice to do that.
Absolutely. I think you gave so many different insights, and a lot of this, people, like, if you're listening to this, if you're watching this live, if you're listening to this on replay or watching it on replay, please understand, go back and listen to that again, right? Like, understand that advice right there could save you hundreds, if not thousands of hours down the road of like banging your head against the wall, being like, why are people not coming back to me? Why are people, like, this can help you. So go back and listen to that. That's exactly why we bring experts on like Dr. Kim herself to talk about these different things and why it's important to her and why she's passionate about it, because it means something not only to her practice and the success she has, but it also means something to chiropractic. It makes chiropractic look good, right? It makes chiropractic look great when you have people on long-term or longevity plans that says, hey, I know where you're going to be. I want to be there with you along this journey with you, and I want to guide you and lead you along your health conscious decisions. And I think it's really important to be that beacon of light for people in your community, especially locally, and really become that person, that chiropractor, that doctor that takes things to the next level, that takes that relationship and breaks down those barriers that you oftentimes see and have when you're going into a different doctor's office and experiencing these, back turn typing on the computer type situations. And it eliminates that. But I want to jump into more when we come back. I'm going to thank some more of our sponsors, but I wrote down so many notes, so I can't wait to get back into this, and we'll be right back, guys. Every chiropractic clinic needs a compliance program. If you are not sure what that includes or why you need one, let Dr. Robin from RHDC Consulting help you build your chiropractic compliance. If you are ready to get started, head to robin-hale.mykajabi.com and let Dr. Robin guide you to the end result. Imaging Services' primary business is chiropractic solutions. With over 45 years in the industry of helping chiropractors, Michael Tokash offers free consultations on building your business. In the past year, Imaging Services has installed over 100 X-ray machines and digital X-ray systems in over 42 states across the United States. For more, head to theimagingservices.com. The 56-day chiropractic boot camp, building badass female chiropractors who are instinctively successful. Head to 56daychirobootcamp.com/legendary for your free endless referrals cheat sheet now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Sweet, guys. Welcome back to the show, the Legendary Chiropractor Podcast. Thank you for listening to some of our sponsors there. Dr. Kim just dropped a ton of value bombs, golden nuggets, whatever you want to call them. And I want to go back to a couple things that I wrote down. And it was the been now going. And that I think is so important, right? Where have you been? Boom, right away, it gets you down on their level, right? Or it gets you at their level, no matter if they've been higher, like sciencey wise in the past, where their pain has been from, or where they've heard of chiropractic before. It gets you on their level, no matter what level that is. It's like, hey, tell me a little bit about what brings you in and where are you coming from, right? And it puts you on that level. Where are they now, right? Why did they choose to come to your office? Why was today the day? Or why was 2 days ago the time they called and scheduled a new patient appointment and are now sitting in front of you in your office? Why are they there, right? That's important. And then where are they going? What can I do? Now it's my time to insert myself and say, what can I do for you? And here's how we are going to go along this journey together. And I think that's really important. So that been now going is such an important level to build two things that you said, trust and rapport. Those are the two top things that you can build with any patient or any new person that comes in your office that's going to stay there for a long period of time. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting. I had a practice member come in today and we were talking about her daughter, and I actually, found something with her daughter's spine that needed to go to an orthopedic. And the first orthopedic she saw, she said she walked in the room and she knew immediately, the moment she walked in the room, that doctor was not certain and was not going to be able to help them. They ended up staying with that doctor for way too long. And then the second doctor that they met, she said, I walked in the room and I just knew it was right. So how often when a practice member walks in your room, do they know you're certain? Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing, Johnny, is that so much of building a practice that is referral based versus dependent upon you doing a tremendous amount of marketing, whether it's through social media and Groupons and I'll give this away and let's see if you bite, like those types of things do not have to happen. If when you are establishing rapport with a new practice member, your level of certainty can be felt. They know that I know. They know that the practitioners I coach, those patients who see those people know that those practitioners know. And it's because of their tone. It's because of their posture. It's because of the words they use. It's because of the way they listen. And most people in practice are so ready to tell their story and shove down somebody's throat what they want somebody to know, that they cannot listen below the surface. And it is a skill that is really hard to learn. But I challenge you in your conversations with anybody that you're having over the next week, listen to them and listen one level deeper. What are they really saying? Mm-hmm. What's your practice member saying? What are your friends really saying? And you'll hear it. You'll hear practice members say like, oh, I have a lot going on in the next few weeks. I'm going to do my best to get here. That means they're not coming on their regular schedule. Right? That does not mean they're going to get there on what you recommended. When somebody says, yes, I'm really overwhelmed, I got to look at all my finances. They're one step out your door to say goodbye because they don't see the value in what you do. If you don't have the certainty and the courage to address that straight away, can you address that? If you can't because you're uncertain or you shrink or you need to be liked, I assure you, your practice numbers will dip and you will consistently be searching for your next new patient because your practice will never have a wait list because you're not certain enough. So in growing a PVA-based practice or in new patient attraction, the majority of it, you can look in the mirror because you're the source or you're the problem, but it's your certainty level that is going to help you attract what you need and what you want to create and what you want to see the profession like. So it is so much more than put out your Facebook ad and put out your Groupon and attract 100 patients. Awesome. Glad you did. I'm so sorry they were there 4 times because you haven't grown yourself and you don't have systems to grow a practice that is the mirror of what you want to create. So much of this is much bigger than all of the fluff that we tend to see on social media and on Facebook and in these chiropractic groups. And it's like, I did this, I did that. Stop the dog and pony show. Let's talk about growing ourselves and growing our practices and creating systems to do that. It's interesting that we know that in the report of findings that there are steps to that, right? People want to know, can you help me? They want to know what's wrong. They want to know how long is it going to take? They want to know how much is it going to cost? Mm-hmm. If you don't answer those 4 things, then I assure you a practice member will leave with questions. But in those 4 things, do they know that you're the solution, and why are you the solution? So again, when you look at your pillars of what your practice does, whether it's pain, whether it's rehab, whether it's nutrition, whether it's functional medicine, whether it's straight chiropractic, whatever it is for you, then how does your practice member, when they leave there, can they tell you where they are, how you're the solution, and then how you're the solution in 6 months and a year? And if they can't, if you haven't planted seeds for that, then you sold your practice short. You didn't offer all that you could to that practice member. And I assure you they'll buy. Most Americans, even most people, let's just take Americans out of it, most people are looking for a leader. And if you show up as that leader, they will follow.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have 2 things I want to add to that and or kind of just recap what you were saying. And number 1 is, I like how you said, take your listening to the next level, right? Understand them. Where are they coming from? But also I wrote down, take your communication to the next level, because right there at the end, you added to that, right? That report of findings. Not only are you listening and building rapport and trust and saying, understanding where this person is coming from and why they're sitting in front of you on this exact day and time, but also taking your communication level, saying, hey, this is what we found. This is why you should be coming to this office, and here's what we can do to help with this, right? And here's how much it's going to cost and all of these different things, but it's taking your communication to the next level too. Now, I didn't say take the green books and, the nervous system and all this crap and shove it down their throat day one. I didn't say that. What I said was understand what things need to be in a structured communication strategy in order to answer all of those pre-questions that these people come in with, because we know what those questions are, quite frankly. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, or not hundreds yet, but thousands of chiropractors out there that have done this before. And Dr. Kim is an active, living, doing it chiropractor. So it's like, take her advice on what she says. But I urge you to take your listening to the next level, listen deeper. And I want to tie that in with the conversation I had with Dr. Chris Zano a while back in this season. And we were talking about it's not the back pain. It's not the shoulder pain. It's not the low back spasm or whatever they're coming in with or what their doctor previously diagnosed them with. It's the fact that they can't do something that they once were able to do, or they have a goal and they're looking to achieve it. And we're going to tie it right back to what you said. And they're looking for a leader. They need some accountability. They need some help. So why not be there for them, right? I mean, and that just kind of ties it all together, right? Like, up your communication, but also don't, word vomit on them. Be very strategic in what you say, but also up your listening. Understand why this person is in front of you and understand what you can do for them, right?
Absolutely. And and it is in like the nervous system piece of it. You won't leave my office without knowing
right.
that the nervous system is the source. Now, we have a lot of layers to build to help you get well, but that's your source. Mm-hmm. And that's what you've neglected all this time. And that's what nobody else can do. Nobody else can do that but us.
Yep.
So I want people to know that, but I also want you to know that all these other facets play a role in fueling your nervous system. I'm going to take care of the nervous system because I'm the best at that in my area. And I'm also going to help you build all these other categories so that your nervous system stays healthy. And if you want to be a part of that, I'm your solution. And if you don't, my job is also to help you find what you want to be doing. And if I'm not it, Johnny, I'll put it this way. I sometimes ask people to leave and they usually come back. And so if you build that rapport and that certainty, it's kind of like they think they don't want it. And then they're like, no, I'm not going anywhere. You're certain I got this. It's letting them know that the nervous system is the source. And then it's building in the fillers of what you're going to do over a lifetime to stay healthy together. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that and really brand it within your office, it is phenomenal, the magic that can take place. And it really comes down to your certainty. And then it comes down to listening below the surface. And then it comes down to acknowledging people. And so rarely do we acknowledge the person in front of us for all the tiny steps they're making to help themselves heal, and all the greatness that they're bringing to the world? I mean, Johnny, you do that well. That's why you have a following. I mean, if you do that in your practice, that every single person that comes in, do you see them that day for what they are? Do you randomly write 15 handwritten cards randomly a week to the people that come into you to congratulate them on drinking more water, getting adjusted, spreading joy into the world, picking up their grandkid, having their 50th wedding anniversary? If you're not celebrating with these people, then that connection's not quite there. And I can tell you that that is huge, that to just acknowledge people, and you do it from your heart. And I promise you, people will pay, stay, and refer without you begging and doing gimmicks. But you cared about them and acknowledged them in a world where the majority of people aren't even seen nor touched most of their days. So I can tell you that the little things are, do you call after your first visit with somebody when you've adjusted them? And you're not asking to say, are you hurt? Do you hurt? Are you sore? This or that. But are you simply asking them to say, and calling to say, it was so wonderful to meet you. It literally made my day that you walked into my office. Do you have any questions? Because we covered a tremendous amount of information, and I don't want you to have to wait till your next visit to get an answer. That's simple.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't do that. They don't get that anywhere else they go. And then you send a handwritten card to acknowledge that they came in. And then do you randomly do that again over the next year to people every single week? That goes a really long way. You know, you talk about new patient attraction. We live in such a world that is phone-based and text-based and screen-based and, you know, Facebook this and Groupon that and 70,000 emails because it's Cyber Monday. And do you really believe that that is what brings in new people? And if you do, it might bring them in, but does it build the relationship? And I assure you it doesn't. I can tell you that a lot of us now in the stage of practice I am and beyond, and there's some phenomenal people beyond, but we didn't have all that. We have relationship-based practices that are built on communication and acknowledgement. And I can tell you those practices have longevity. They don't have these peaks and valleys and peaks and valleys. We just have peaks. And we have wait lists and we have high PVAs and we have people coming in because they want to, and we don't beg and we don't gimmick. That is dwindling within our profession because of the massive amount of chatter. And I love helping people get back to relationship-driven practices. And they soar and they excel and they create massive wealth for the practitioner and they create massive results for patients. And then they create high PVAs and they create this decreased amount of stress in practice. And that is fun. That is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes chiropractic look amazing.
Yeah. What we do and who we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We want to be the profession known as those who send handwritten cards. That's you know, that keeps it so simple, but it's like, it's such a tiny little thing.
It sounds silly, but I'm telling you.
No, it's the truth. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely the truth.
I hear all the time, you cared about me more than anybody else. You cared about me. I don't know if you can help me with XYZ, but I know you care about me and you'll help me get where I need to be. You're right. I'll care about you.
Absolutely.
You know, it matters.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I was just going to say, like, we weren't getting into the new patient attraction yet. And then I was like, oh, wait, good. She brought it up. And then, but here's the thing. I want to make sure that everyone is clear. Like, the new patient attraction is not the gimmicks, right? It's not the exams and the this and the that and the this and the, it's the relationship that you build with the individual who is in front of you in your office. And then it's creating that stay, pay, refer machine, pretty much for your practice by building honest relationships and loving on people. Like you said, like people go their whole day without human contact or interaction. Like I literally, if I skipped class today, I literally could have sat in my apartment and done nothing. Literally done nothing but sat on my phone and my computer, and I would have been happy. But that's not human interaction. That's not contact, right? That's not learning to socialize and maintaining communication skills. But I wrote down new patient attraction comes from the culture and the environment that you create in your office. And that I truly, truly believe 100%, because people want to be around that. People want to be around high energy. People want to be around joy, love, optimism, whatever other term you want to sprinkle on top of that. But people want to be around that. That is what we should be building chiropractic practices based on, in my opinion. Before we do closing remarks, Doc, and I want you to share a little bit about To Inspire Women, your coaching platform and your group, and what everything you guys do. But we're going to take a quick break, thank our last sponsors here, and then we will be right back to talk all about To Inspire Women. Dr. Stu Hoffman, founder and president of ChiroSecure Malpractice Insurance, is the foremost expert in both risk management and risk avoidance. Understanding the everyday challenges of today's practicing chiropractor and the current public perception of chiropractic has made ChiroSecure the fastest growing malpractice insurance program of the last 28 years. Find out more at chirosecure.com. The IFCO is here to support you. Whether you are a chiropractic student, doctor of chiropractic organization, or member of the public, the International Federation of Chiropractors and Organizations is here for you. They recognize and support your right to practice and receive vertebral subluxation-centered chiropractic care and are here to ensure that right and spread access to that care throughout the world. Head to ifcochiro.org/legendary for more. Be sure to give our friends over at Chiro Hustle a listen. They are bringing together some of the biggest names in the profession and learning from the greats. Chiro Hustle creates a safe space where chiropractic leaders share their stories and their passions with the world. Let's get hustling by heading to chirohustle.com now. Thank you for allowing this brief disruption to take place. And now back to the program. Sweet. All right, Dr. Kim, thank you so much for dropping all of this value and content and bringing this, inspiring energy to the chiropractic profession, because it is truly inspiring. And I don't mean to play a pun on To Inspire Women, but it is inspiring to really understand at a deeper level what is success within chiropractic. And everyone is going to, you can ask 20 different chiropractors, everybody's going to have their own definition of success. And that is just the truth. But if you, what I like to say, if you resonate with something like this, if you kind of connect and you feel like Dr. Kim's energy and my energy about this conversation is positive in your eyes, then this is where you should be, right? Like, this is the time to act on something like this and start talking PVAs, start understanding what that means to you, your future, and your future patients as well. So, Dr. Kim, go ahead and share a little closing knowledge with us, and as we wrap up the show here.
Yeah, even what you said about we could all have different measurements of success. That's what's really important to Inspire Women, is that we can all have different practices and different ideas of success and different ways of getting there. But the bottom line is, if every single one of us rose up to our true potential, our profession would explode. But the problem is that the majority of us, out of insecurity or fear or not knowing a way, never hit our full potential. And we live in a world where we have an idea of what chiropractic should be, or how we should be within certain, realms of healthcare, or where we should be fitting, but we don't have the courage, nor the confidence, nor the systems, nor the wealth to go create it. And so we have these ideas of success, but if we all truly honored our own way of creating success and truly rose up to create that for ourselves, we would see a far more successful profession. It doesn't have to be one way, but it does have to be done really well your way. And that is what we do at To Inspire Women. The other thing you talked about when you're talking about the new patient attraction, and I do want to touch on it because, yes, my way of building value with people does grow my practice from the inside out. And I've seen people be able to replicate that in their own way and grow an inside out practice. But the interesting thing is, when you are new out of school, you don't have an inside out to build. So you got to go outside in somewhat. You do need to do the Facebook piece. You do need to do some marketing on media, on social media. You need to have a presence. you also need to get into your community. So if you acknowledge the players within your community and you build relationships with those people, and you do it systematically by creating a really solid marketing calendar that is based on external and internal with things that fit with your values, both in your practice and how you want to connect with people, you can explode. But the majority of people are hiding behind Facebook or a camera, and they're not getting out there. And so there is a strategy for that. But if you are newer in practice or getting ready to graduate, you've got to build an external strategy, and there are ways to do it. And that's a whole nother podcast. We can do it another time. But at To Inspire Women, I want people to know that all are welcome. If you coach with someone else, it's fine. If you love other people's resources, great. If you're a part of this women's group or that women's group, fine. If you coach in this men's group or that or this or that or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome at To Inspire Women. And we are boutique because we like to keep it very identity based. However, we do things like our strategy calls. I have individuals that jump on our strategy calls once a month who may have another coach, but they jump on there just to pick my brain or to talk with me or to get some one-on-one advice because it might be different than what they've done. So it doesn't have to be one way. If an individual would love to connect with me, they can connect with me at Dr. Kim at To Inspire Women. And then we do have our next strategy call on December 17th, and it is at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I do one once a month. They're usually on Tuesdays. They're at 7 p.m. And it is a live, we're one-on-one, face-to-face, or in a group face-to-face, and we can connect and dive into any topic that you want to. So if you want to learn more about cash practice, PVA, new patient attraction, retention, whatever it is, reactivation, marketing, it doesn't matter. We can go through that. If you've been in practice 25, 30 years, fine. If you're new in practice or getting ready to graduate, I've had students on every single month, and so many of them are on consistently. And they are actually building systems so that the day that they graduate, they're ready. So they're completely complimentary, and I would love to connect with any of you. I really appreciate the work you do, Johnny. You're elevating our profession. You're connecting people in a way that really hasn't been done well before, and I appreciate you very much. So thank you to you, and thank you for your audience, and I appreciate it. I appreciate what the people are doing to elevate the profession.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Kim. That means a lot to me. And so without further ado, guys, it's at the bottom of the screen. Free call December 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. toinspirewomen.com/strategy. Again, it's right there, toinspirewomen.com/strategy. And those are free complimentary calls once a month, usually on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. with Dr. Kim. She sits down and breaks down anything that you want to know about chiropractic. And she'll help you out, right? And it's like sometimes there'll be, 2 people on, sometimes there'll be 50 people on, but anywhere in between, right? It's like that's the time to ask questions. That's the time to engage with somebody who actually cares about where this profession is heading. As you can tell, the previous 40 minutes was all about love and building up this profession truly. So, Dr. Kim, thank you so much for being on. It is always a pleasure, and we always come up with another topic to talk about while we're talking, which is always the best. So check out toinspirewomen.com/strategy to get on that free call. Also, be aware that the Legendary Chiropractor is hosting the first ever Legendary Podcasters webinar on December 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. It's on a Sunday. I figure if I put it on a Sunday at 1 p.m., most people can attend. If you can't attend, but you still want the information and the guides, you can register, and I will email you out a recorded version of the webinar and both of the guides and a free checklist of how to begin and take those initial steps to start your very own podcast or take yours to the next level through sponsors, through ads, through building relationships that matter and that grow your business as well. So thanks, Dr. Kim, so much for being on the show. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a lovely, lovely evening. And that's all I got. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thanks, Johnny.
Bye, everyone. Have a good one.
Thanks.